Hey everyone, it's Magnetics. Today we're going to be talking about a monthly personal budget. Like with any video I make, there's going to be materials that are free to you to use. So there's going to be a presentation and a budget template that you'll be able to download off of Google Drive. All I ask in return is that you go ahead and like and subscribe. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's talk about a monthly budget. So first off, what is a budget? So a budget is basically just an estimate of income and expenditure over a period of time. It can help you track your cash inflow and outflow. It can help capture your spending habits. You can compare your spending against earnings to see where your money's going. And one great thing is you can track it at whatever cadence you want. You can do it every week, every day, every other week, every month, every year. I would definitely recommend doing your budget once a week because then you have a good understanding and you're regularly checking up on how your expenses are playing out throughout the month. So why is a budget important? Why does it matter to us? The first thing I'll say is that it creates disciplined spending. You know where your money is going and you know how much you're spending on what. So you're going to make smarter and more conservative decisions along the way. It also gives you the ability to set savings goals. So having a budget, you understand where all your money is going. You can actually set a goal and say, I'm going to save up for a new car in the next year. And with that, you can also go ahead and start testing new spending habits. If you want to move into a new apartment, if you want to save up for a car, if you want to have more dinners with friends each week, you can understand, okay, my money is going here, and I understand that this is the cost of it. I understand that I'm not going to be saving as much, but I'm still okay because I know my budget is providing me the right level of detail. So what are the things you need to actually go ahead and make a budget? There's 5 main things that you need to know. The first and most important is your income. You need to understand how much money you're taking in. I'm going to say here, this income we're only going to refer to as your guaranteed income. This is like your salary, any contracted salary that you're getting. The next is taxes. Unless your salary is jumping from one tax bracket to another each year, you can just go ahead and use the percent from last year. It's going to give you a pretty solid understanding, and between the brackets there isn't a terrible amount of difference. So just go ahead and use last year's if you're not having any big jumps in your income. If you are, I would definitely check out this link that's here. It really spells out really well exactly the tax brackets, the percentage tax that's going to be incurred in each bracket, and really gives you some great information to go ahead and utilize. The next is your retirement contributions. This is overlooked all the time. Your retirement is your largest savings account you'll ever have in your entire life, and it's what you're going to live off of for 20 to 30 years of your life. So you need to understand your pre-tax and your post-tax contributions. So this would be your Roth IRA or your 401k. The next item is any credits. This is not the same as income. These are some credits you're getting each month that may not be guaranteed. For example, when I travel for my company, they give me $40 for that month to pay for my data plan. They want to make sure I'm connected to the internet and phone lines, so that way while I'm traveling to them, they can contact me or customers can contact me. If I'm going to use my car for business, they're going to reimburse me for the mileage that I drove my car. Like I said, this is not guaranteed income each month, so we're going to refer to it as a credit. And last but definitely not least is expenses. This is everything you are spending money on, from Amazon purchases to car payments, insurance, groceries, Disney, Netflix, Spotify, anything and everything you can think of that is taking money out of your account that you're using your credit or debit card for is an expense. So there's one piece of advice I can give to you while you're making a budget. It's be conservative. Overestimate your costs. If you're paying $365 a month for your car, round that up to $370. Overestimate the costs that are being done. You can round up to the nearest 5. The next item is to underestimate your earnings. And what I mean here is you want to make sure that you're not putting anything in there that is not guaranteed or not truthful. If you have some weird salary number, do not round it up. Be honest with yourself. If you're not honest with yourself, you're going to not save as much money. And if there's one way I can envelop this, it's to live within your means. If you're making $50,000 a year, do not live the lifestyle of a millionaire. You don't have to buy the BMW. You don't have to buy the Range Rover. Be comfortable where you are, because then you will be able to accrue savings and then move up and be able to afford more expensive things in life. Some of the worst blunders that are made in personal finance is not having a budget at all. You actually have no idea where your money is going or how much income you're taking in. Another mistake is overestimating income. If you are going to put your annual bonus into your income for this personal budget, you are going to fail. That is not guaranteed income. You might not save as much. You might not make that much of a bonus. If it's relying on other people or the company, it is not guaranteed. Underestimating your spending. If you're scrolling through your credit card statement and you say, oh, those $10 don't matter much, that adds up. Make sure you're honest with yourself. Number 4 is a lack of monitoring spending. If you're taking a look at your credit card, your debit card statement each and every month, you're going to see, hey, I am spending a ton of money on takeout food. I am spending a ton of money on utilities. It really gives you an understanding exactly where your money's going. And if you don't monitor it, you're never going to know. You're never going to notice those trends that you can improve upon. And the last one is having no plan at all. You don't look at your bank statements. You don't look at your income. You don't look at your expenses, anything. If you don't have a plan, you are going to fail. And the old adage goes, failing to plan is planning to fail. So let's talk about one of the fun things you can do with a budget. It's setting a goal. Let's say I want to buy a car in a year. I want to buy this nice 2021 Chevy Equinox. So what do I need to know about this? I need to understand the total cost, which is about $30,000. I need to understand how much I'm going to be paying in down payment, which is about $5,000. I want to make sure that my loan is lower, that I get approved for it, and I don't want to pay as much per month. So now, with all that data, I know I'm going to be paying about $420 a month for the next 60 months. For the next 5 years of my life, I'm going to be paying $420 a month. And with a new car comes new expenses. I need to understand what you're actually taking away with the new car. So you're going to be paying more in gas. If you're upgrading from a sedan to an SUV, that takes more gas. You're going to be paying more money per month on that line item. The next is insurance. It's a bigger car. It's a newer car. It's a nicer car. The insurance company needs more money to insure it. So if anything happens to it, they can help you pay for it. So that's going to go up as well. So now that you've decided that you're going to go ahead and actually go ahead and buy this car, what you need to do is review exactly what's going on. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to buy it with a loan and use that down payment. So you need to start saving up for the down payment. You need to review your budget each month to make sure you're on track to save for that down payment and that you can afford the extra costs that are being incurred by it. And what I'd also like you to do is test a year in this Excel sheet with new expenses. Does it make sense? Am I making a good decision here? So let's take a look at an example budget. And this is going to be the Excel sheet that's going to be provided to you in the link in the description below, along with this presentation. So I've created this budget basically to help you put together a personal budget in a really basic format. And what I put in here is a nice simple cover page to add up all the savings so that way you understand your performance and how much you're saving each year. So I made tabs for each and every month of the year so you can go ahead and get started. So let's take a look at an example that I made to help you guys understand exactly what all the fields are for and how you can go ahead and use this file. So now we're in the example tab. And so we have a number of inputs, outputs, and things we can change. So first in the top left corner, you're going to see that I put in a yearly income of $100,000 a year. I wish I made that much, but it's a nice round number that makes for a really easy exam. And so let's say my tax percentage is 30%. I'm pretty sure for that tax bracket it's a bit higher, but it's a nice round number for us. And for my pre-tax retirement contribution, I put in 3%, and for my post-tax, I put in 1%. So based on these inputs, I can now exactly see what my income is going to look like. So that is my operating budget. That's how much money I have to spend in this time frame. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down, take a look at my credits and expenses. So my company paid me $40 this month. Basically, I went ahead and traveled, and they gave me $40 so I could stay connected while I was on the trip. And now I can take a look at all the expenses. And so what I did here is I put two columns. I did the budgeted, so we can see how much I was expecting to pay, and then we can put in exactly what we did pay. So we can say that, okay, rent stayed the same, car stayed the same, phone stayed the same. And now we can see there might be some discrepancy somewhere. So for food, I had budgeted $350. I actually ended up paying $412. Maybe I went to dinner one extra night. Basically, I now know exactly where that money went, so I can say, okay, for next month, I need to be more cognizant of this. Maybe I don't go out as much. Maybe I need to save some more money. So knowing all of these, we can now take a look at exactly how we're performing each month. So if we scroll back up, we have our expected balance sheet and our actual balance sheet. So we have our income, our credits, our expenses, and the total. And effectively, this is what we are expecting to save each and every month, and we can use later on. And then the actual, we can see our income's the same, our credit's the same, but actually our expenses went up a bit higher. So now we actually take a look at the performance. Now we can see that I did not save that I expected to save. Now I understand that more money went to my expenses than I was expected to go to savings. And now I can go ahead and make adjustments based on this. Is that fine? Does that work? Does it put me in risk of losing my home or having my car repoed or something like that? Or does it make sense? Do I understand that this is an okay thing and that I can afford it? And now that we have visibility to this, we can do more with it. So one thing I want to do before we end today is test out what everything's going to look like if we were to buy that new car at $420 per month. So I can go ahead and change this to $420 a month. So now we've gone up quite considerably, another $55 a month. So now I understand exactly, okay, this is the change that's happening if I were to go ahead and make this decision. And then I can also go ahead and I can change my gas. It's probably going to be more expensive. I can take a look at that. My insurance is going to go up because of that as well. I can see that's almost a swing of $100 a month that I'm no longer saving because of this new expense. So I hope you guys got a lot out of this today. This will be free to you to use. Like I said before, all I ask is you like and subscribe. I love creating these things and I hope you get a lot out of it, and I hope your savings journey and your personal finance journey are positive.